I want to ask you a couple of questions that are, we've had a few videos in the past. We've kind of gone into more of the business stuff, which I think is more fun sometimes. Although I like doing the techie stuff. Recently though, I helped you edit. I just edited. You actually did all the work, but I reviewed and edited a little bit a white paper you just did. Pretty big white paper. Like white paper is not the right word for it. It's like it's an anthology, a small anthology of SSIS performance tips and best practices.
Yeah.
If there's one tip you could give the people watching who are doing ETL development, like what's one thing that you wish everybody stopped doing right now when it comes to ETL development for performance?
So for one thing, use the right tool.
Okay.
So integration services, well, we'll abstract it even further.
Sure.
So ETL in general, there's lots of different tools that you can use. So you can use Pentaho, you can use SSIS, you can use Talend, there's Informatica, there's lots of tools that you can use. But even within each one of those, there are different moving parts.
Sure.
So some of them perform better, some of them some of them are really specialized tools that do a thing, but don't do lots of things really quickly.
Sure. Yeah.
So using the right tool for the job is the biggest problem that I see in integration services tuning.
Yeah.
And one of the things within that subset is SSIS is a really good tool, and it performs well on a lot of different spectrums, but there are some things that the database engine will do well.
Yep.
So, and I made this mistake, exactly, database engine guy.
Yeah.
The first couple of SSIS packages that I developed, I did everything in integration services. So I've got server A, database 1 on server A, database 2 on server A, on the same SQL Server instance, moving data from one to the other.
Yeah.
I take it from the server, bring it into SSIS memory, into a data flow, do whatever I'm going to do to it, and then write it directly back to the same database server that I pulled it from.
SSIS was your hammer, and every problem was your nail.
Exactly. SSIS was the hammer, every problem was a nail. And it worked fine.
Sure.
But it wasn't the best performing solution, because I could have said, get the data from this table, write it to that table, do my transformations in T-SQL, and not involve SSIS, the data flow anyway, at all. So even though it did work on a larger scale of data, that wouldn't have been the best performing solution.
Sure.
So that's the biggest thing is use the right tool for the job. Sometimes it's not a data flow. Sometimes it's not even integration services at all.
Sure.
Don't be afraid to use maybe a third-party tool or PowerShell or just a plain old T-SQL script to do the transformation.
Sure. And really that tip that's a universal tip. I mean, when it comes to SQL tuning, use the right tool for the job.
Use the right tool for the right job.
We just had a client the other day. We got together and we were talking about CTEs versus temp tables, right? And sometimes CTEs are a great tool, but when you're using them in place of temp tables, sort of as temp tables, and you're doing nested CTEs just to do intermediate result sets and then join them all together, it's not the right tool.
It's a fine tool, but for really complex or multi-step operations, it's not the right tool for that job.
Sure. Well, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Deb.
Thank you.